What's going on, you guys? My name is Zach Hartley, and in this video I'm going to walk you through the two different Canadian graphene stocks. They're at the top of my watch list and I'm super excited about. Here's everything you need to know. Let's go. Okay, so I first heard about graphene when I watched a documentary called Billions in Change. It came out back in 2015 and it followed the founder of 5 Hour Energy. He had just sold his company. He had about $4 billion that he had to decide on what to do with. His name was Manoj Bhargava. I believe that's how you say it. And it is an amazing documentary. If you haven't seen it before, I will link it down below. But he talks about what he plans to do with graphene in this documentary. And that is the first time I saw it. And that is when I realized, wow, this is something that could have a pretty big impact on the world. And so if you are not sure what graphene is simply a single layer of carbon. It was discovered in 2004, and the two gentlemen that actually discovered it in 2004 won a Nobel Prize in 2010 for the discovery and for the research, because graphene has some very, very unique properties. And if you're interested in actually buying some, I will put a link down below where you can buy some. I actually just bought some and I'm going to do a video when it comes in. It is such a cool material, and here is why it is so cool. Okay, so this is a slide that I pulled from one of the companies that we're actually going to look at today, and it is the properties of graphene. So if you look on the left here, you can see strength, flexibility, thermal conductivity, and then it talks about the facts associated with it. So graphene is 200 times stronger than steel. It has a 10 times better thermal conductivity than copper, 1,000 times better current capacity than copper. So like, this is really an amazing, amazing material, and it has a ton of different applications. Definitely pause the page here if you guys are interested in it, but if you're just hearing about graphene, please consider hitting that like button. It sincerely helps me out and I really appreciate it, because this is something that is about to change the world, at least in my opinion. And so if you're interested in how quickly this industry is growing, this is again a slide from one of the companies, so it is definitely a little bit biased, but they are putting a compound annual growth rate on this industry at about 39%, and you really don't see that in almost any other industry right now. Now, if you want to learn more about graphene and the different use cases and everything like that, definitely check out the videos on YouTube. They will do a much better job of that than what I can do in this PowerPoint. Here I want to focus on the company. So if you want to do more research, definitely check out YouTube. There's a plethora of videos on all the different use cases and applications of graphene. However, in this video, we are going to focus on two different Canadian companies, NanoXplore as well as Zen Graphene. There's also 3 other graphene companies on my watch list. So if you want me to get into details on those and you like this video, please let me know in the comments below, or like and share this video. I sincerely appreciate it. It really helps me out. Now, when we dive into the financials of these companies, this is usually where I spend the majority of my time. However, with both of these companies, they are so new and the financials are so simple that honestly, you cannot pull a whole lot of information from here because these companies are so young. So current price on NanoXplore is $368. Current price on Zen Graphene is $1.63. Here's their market caps. You can see NanoXplore is definitely the major player here, and they actually have revenue, so $65 million worth of revenue. They lost $8 million last year, and the revenue isn't great this year compared to last year. It's actually going down a little bit, probably caused by COVID and everything else going on. But this is what NanoXplore looks like. And when we go to Zen Graphene, they don't even have any revenue yet. So most of my ratios don't even apply. And last year they lost $1.5 million. So this is where I like to spend the majority of my time, but we can't in this video. So what we are going to do is dive into the business operations and the strategy between these two companies to figure out which one we like best. But before we do that, I want to tell you about my course that is hosted on Skillshare. It is a stock market course and it has over 8 hours of content. So if you are a new trader or even an intermediate trader, there is definitely something here that will be able to help you out. It is hosted on Skillshare, and you get a 2-week free trial, which means if you can do all 8 hours of the course before 2 weeks is up, you get the entire thing for free. There's over 600 students that have gone through the course, and there's over 30 different reviews that you can read. If you would like to check it out, there's a link down below, and I highly recommend it if you are looking to expand your skills when it comes to the stock market. Now, let's jump into these companies. So first one is NanoXplore. This is directly from their investor PowerPoint, and I'm just going to read it off. NanoXplore is a graphene company, a manufacturer and supplier of high volume graphene powder for use in industrial markets, as well as a producer of graphene enhanced plastics and composite products. So what NanoXplore does is they generate and they manufacture basically graphene as a powder or as a pellet, and they also use it in their operations, and that's where they've generated the $60 or $65 million in revenue. They produce the powder, they also use it in their operations, and I believe they're trying to scale up both right now. Now, with regards to their operations, they actually have 3 different subsidiary companies that focus on different markets. So SIBO actually focuses on injection molding, RMC actually focuses on large composite products, And the last one here does something a little bit similar, but a little bit more specialized in a couple different technologies, but all based around the kind of idea of using plastics and creating a finished product with it. All three of these companies basically go through that model, just in different specialties, and that is where NanoXplore specializes. Now, in summary, the company makes plastic products. They also produce and sell graphene powder. They just opened up a brand new facility with capabilities of doing 4,000 metric tons per year, and they are working on graphene batteries. So there's a lot going on with this company. Basically, they're bringing in raw material, they're converting it and upgrading it into graphene powder. They are using it in their own operations through those 3 subsidiaries, and they are also selling the black powder as pellets and as powder, and they just opened up the new facility to kind of scale up those operations. Now, my only concerns with this company is that their revenues were lower in 2020 compared to 2019. I do think that was partially affected by COVID, as well as their expansion. They just opened up that new facility, and so I think a lot of time and dedication went into getting that set up and running. So I'm not hugely concerned about that little drop in revenue, especially because it wasn't dramatic. And overall, I think they have a great strategic advantage when it comes to the entire industry. They just need to focus on bringing the cost of that raw material down as far as they can, because that opens up more and more use cases. Okay, now the next company we're looking at is Zen Graphene. So this company is really interesting because they're going about things a little bit differently. And so Zen Graphene, 100% nanomaterial sciences company focused on graphene production and intellectual property development and acquisition. Graphene source wholly owned unique microcrystalline Albany graphite deposit located in Ontario, Canada. So these guys are different because they actually bought the graphite deposit. So they own the ground and the minerals inside of it, and now they're trying to develop it, get the permits to extract it, and basically go vertical integration on this and kind of do something similar to NanoXplore, where they're producing the powder and producing the pellets, but these guys are going to be completely vertically integrated, and they don't already have that back end final stage manufacturing set and ready to go. They're going to be selling the products and licensing the products to those manufacturers. Now, like I said, they own the deposit. They're waiting for the extraction permits to actually get that out of the ground, so it is not operational. They have taken test samples and small batches out of the ground, but they are not in full extraction mode yet. They're still trying to develop that and get to the permitting stage and basically be able to take all of that out of the ground for full vertical integration. And right now, they're currently building a pilot scale lab to basically align with production for that actual extraction. Now, while all of that is going on to basically get that extraction facility up and running, they're also doing a ton of work. For instance, recently they have announced a letter of intent to supply a graphene-based coating for over 100 million face masks. So it is supposed to be a coating that will basically kill the COVID on contact, and they're going to spray it into over 100 million masks. They've signed the letter of intent for that, and it is basically a layer or a film, basically a liquid that can be sprayed onto basically anything, and they have now patented it, they're licensing it, and they're basically going to sell it to these 100 million masks, which is really, really cool. They have also announced a ton of partnerships and collaborations and patents over the recent little while, including one with regards to aerogel in collaboration with the UBCO. Now, aerogel has received a ton of popularity lately. It is basically that little blue sponge that kind of looks like a little piece of glass. If you've seen it in the videos, it's really, really unique. If you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely look it up because it's something that will kind of blow your mind, just like graphene does. It's really, really unique. And so they're working on a ton of collaborations in that space. And when we compare these two companies, it's really, really different. They have very different business models. So NanoXplore is buying the graphite, processing it into graphene, and using it in their operations, as well as selling it as powder and pellets. Zen Graphene is definitely further behind them. They're not currently using it in operations yet. They have signed letters of intent, and they're basically going in that direction, but they have focused on vertical integration. So they own the graphite deposit. They're trying to build the facility to process that deposit. They have taken samples out of that deposit, and they're using it for different projects right now, but their long-term goal is vertical integration, patents, intellectual property, and basically selling the technology and the developments that they make to other manufacturers that can use it in their products. Now, if you guys are interested in this analysis at all, you should definitely consider joining my Discord chat. It is a community of traders where I share my weekly watch list, as well as all of my technical analysis and my trade ideas. I'm trying to build a group chat based on people that want to share their resources, share their trade ideas, and help everybody improve. And so if that sounds like something you're interested in, definitely check out the links below. I have a sign-up sheet on there. It is $5 per month, and I'm trying to build a community of traders that think alike and are willing to help each other. So please consider joining that. Okay, so my strategy strategy is to take small positions in several different companies. I am not well enough educated on the industry to figure out who has a strategic advantage, and I think it's also way too early to figure out who's going to be most successful in this industry. So instead of trying to pick and choose my horse, I'm going to spread my bets into a couple different companies. I'm going to take small positions, so if one or two doesn't work out, it's not going to hurt my portfolio. But I am extremely excited about the industry. I think graphene has a ton of potential, and I think as soon as we see some good commercial developments where this product is actually being used and out there, it is going to inspire other people to use it and see what they can innovate with it. So my expectation and my theory is that the entire industry is going to grow over the next 5 to 10 years pretty substantially. And so instead of trying to choose which horse I'm going to bet, I'm going to bet on all of the horses and hopefully ride out the entire industry. So if you're interested in any more analysis like this or any videos like this, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. My only goal here is to help you make more money, so I sincerely appreciate you watching my videos and supporting my channel. I will see you guys in the next video. Good luck trading. Peace.